Okay, let's say you want to pursue a PhD and your application makes it to the point where you get an interview by an application committee. Then someone on the committee asks you the question, what are you going to do with your PhD? That's our topic on this episode of Ancient Egypt and the Bible. Let's say you want to pursue a PhD and you have good grades, good recommendations, and have your applications in order. And the application committee likes what they see so far. But there's one last hurdle you have to get past, which is the committee interview. Now, you will be asked several questions that deal with your suitability for doctoral level studies. But there is one question that seems a bit out in left field that you need to be prepared for, but no one ever explains. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Almost every PhD application committee is going to ask the question, what are you going to do with your PhD? And it is a loaded question. The reason it is a loaded question is because there's a lot of meaning stuffed into that question that the candidate cannot and probably will not understand when asked. And in many respects, it's not a question that the candidate will understand until long after receiving their PhD. And that's okay. But what we are going to do on this episode today is help you not to fail the question. Okay, so let's discuss how people generally fail this question. This is important because this is the most common response and portrays an attitude that is prevalent among students today. If you say that you need the PhD as a credential to do other things, you have flunked the question. That answer tells the committee that you see the PhD as a piece of paper, a stepping stone, a credential that you need to obtain in order to move on to the next stage of your advancement. And even if that is true, it tells the committee that you have completely missed the point of the PhD process. So at this point, you're probably asking yourself, okay, what then is the point of the PhD? What's the point of the question? And we're going to get to that. So how does one answer this question well? One way to do this is to say, quote, the PhD will equip me with new tools and methods that I will share and will help me to advance in the field that I'm studying. As a PhD, I will embody those methods and teach them to students going forward, end quote. Now, this is a great answer for many reasons. First, you recognize that you are not complete in your learning. Knowing that you don't know is a terrific start to learning anything, and is even a better first step for a PhD. If you are entering a program thinking that there is nothing more for you to learn, and the only thing you're going to get out of this is a piece of paper, Douglas Petrovich, then you are either in the wrong program or you're an arrogant twit that is too conceited to know that you don't know. As a PhD, if you do your education right, you soon discover how little you know and are in the process of always learning. One of the things that they often say about PhD is that you know more and more about less and less until you know everything about nothing at all. And there's a truth in that you've so specialized that you understand everything about this slim topic. And in learning that you know everything about that slim topic, it sheds light on how much you don't know about everything else. So, in effect, in becoming a PhD, you almost become a perpetual student. You always go, oh, I don't know about this. I want to learn about this. I don't know about that. I'll learn about that. You develop this sort of consciousness of saying, okay, I'm always in a state of not knowing. So I'm always learning about everything. It broadens the mind so that you are curious about it all. The second reason it's a really great answer is because you recognize that the PhD is not a credential or a piece of paper, but that you personally are the product. You are the PhD. The PhD is not the piece of paper, but the person produced at the end of the educational process. This is one of the reasons why diploma mills are so ridiculous. PhDs are created by putting them through a process where they develop a rigorous methodology of research. And once created, PhDs can replicate that methodology over and over again. This is not something that is created by merely printing out a piece of paper, but through years of research and struggle. Third, it is a great answer because you recognize that you will gain new tools and methods. As a doctoral student, it is likely that you yourself will develop new tools and new methods that have never been done before, and that have not even been used in the department where you are studying. And you will be given the opportunity to share those methods with the faculty. It may surprise you, but many of the innovations of new methods have been developed by grad students. Okay, to be honest, many grad student methods are also a bust. But grad students provide the experimental aspects that come to be considered by academia that are more secure in their academic positions. Now, sometimes that openness is taken advantage of by tenured faculty without giving the grad students proper credit, but suffice it to say that admissions committees want candidates that share their knowledge. Basically, the learning process is a two-way street, and they want candidates that will share as well as learn. So a PhD application committee is looking to find those students who are willing to share what they learn along the way. Now, some schools have mandatory sharing of research through poster contests or mandatory lectures. However, the point is that the PhD student is required to share their research. And a PhD application committee wants to know that you want to do that freely without struggle or fuss. In conclusion, the correct answer to the question of what are you going to do with your PhD boils down to a few key points. 1. Recognize that you are the PhD, not the piece of paper. 2. That you are going to gain new tools and methods that you have yet to discover. And 3. You are going to share what you learn with others. So anyway, if you are going to pursue a PhD, we hope that this helps you to navigate that question deftly, and we want to thank you very much for watching. We hope you learned something today, and we'll see you next time on Ancient Egypt and the Bible.